Hello, this is Linda Henley-Smith inviting you to another session of the Diva's Kitchen. Actually, I guess we could call it the Diva Diner, except I don't cook anymore. I have a sign on my stove now which reads, "For display purposes only." Well, I guess you're wondering why I'm wearing this red nose, and it is in response to some questions and suggestions that were given. And thank you for your responses on the YouTube channel. I do appreciate that, and I love when that dialogue keeps going. And there were people who were saying it is really hard to find joy in these times. Well, sure, we've all been affected and infected with COVID brain, with all of the nonsense that's going on and all politically and COVIDly. It's frightening, it's scary, and it's hard for us to get back in touch with that little child that we used to be, one that could easily access joy. Now, everybody needs to go and get one of these. It will help you find the elf in yourself. And remember, ELF is the last part of myself. There is an elf in yourself. You could get one of these anywhere, particularly now at Halloween time. And I'll tell you, you wear this out on errands, you will never have to wait in another line at the grocery store or at the bank. People will move out of the way and say, "You go right ahead." Oh, oops, I dropped it. It was running. My nose was running. See what I did there? Oh, come on. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. Anyway, in order to act like that elf that is in ourselves, we have to quit being so grown up, because sometimes when we act grown up, that seems to mean we just groan all the time and we forget life's little pleasures. You know, there are miracles happening all around us. We just need to open our eyes like a little child. A little child will pick up a rock and say, "This is a magic rock." Well, yeah, it is, because in this child's head, he has created this world that is full of possibilities and opportunities. And getting older, I know. I mean, I'm there. I know a lot of people are concerned about getting older. I know in dog years I'm dead. But it's a choice. Growing older is inevitable. Growing grumpier and acting grown up and acting older is an option. And so we're going to address some of those things today because, as I said, we've all been surrounded with negativity. And so what we need to do is have an attitude of altitude and find things that are funny. We've talked about that in our other sessions, but today I really want to focus on it. Somebody wrote one time, I don't remember who, but I thought it was great, that we ought to stop thinking of our advancing age in numbers and think of it as if we were doing a video game and we were getting to the next level. And the higher the level, the better we felt and the more triumphant we felt. You know, discovering inspirational and victorious attitude. Being a diva requires that we get those pants out of a bunch and we start thinking of things in a fun way. For instance, now that I'm getting older, I have decided to call my age spots something different than that. I'm calling them highlighting. What do you think of that? And the cellulite, hey, that ship's already sailed. So I am calling that texturing. Doesn't that sound better? And a little kid, a kindergartner, once told me that I had sunbeams around my eyes. And I thought, that is really special. So the little crow's feet and the wrinkles that are appearing are now sunbeams. And I really kind of liked that. We have to start thinking about getting older in a different way. Now, in one of my books, I wrote a chapter on that, and it was How Not to Act Old. And believe me, I know some things are a little difficult, but here are some of the tips. Do not step out of your house even to pick up the mail or the newspaper while wearing only your granny panties and a bra. And that applies to women and men. Don't do that. Refrain from using terms that label you as a child of the 60s. Things like boss, hip, bitchin', far out, or groovy. And also don't use any of the new terms like goat, and sa, and some of the other ones that I've heard, especially if you don't really know what they mean and you're wearing plaid shorts and a Hawaiian shirt and socks with your sandals. Don't do that. This is a good one. Don't wear sunglasses over your bifocals. Choose one or the other. Make a choice. And don't pull up to a car that is blasting rap music and yell at them about turning off and what does that filthy stuff mean anyway? This labels you as a grumpy old person. And I have a friend who decides that she's going to turn up her 60s channel extra loud. Believe me, that's just as obnoxious. You know, do wah diddy diddy dum diddy do isn't any better than anything that's coming out of P. Diddy. Oh, next. Oh, this is a good one. Don't remind young women that their dainty little tattoos of hummingbirds are eventually going to drop and one day be storks. Let's not burst their bubbles. And that reminds me, I looked down at my leg the other day and I thought, I don't remember getting a tattoo there till I realized it was spider veins. So, it kind of happens. Oh, my husband's really bad at this. While riding in a car with someone else, avoid reading every sign, billboard, and road marker out loud. A 15-minute road trip, you might find yourself thrown out of the car and landing on the side of the road because that gets really annoying. Take the words "in my day" out of your vocabulary. And oh boy, I have some grandkids who are working as servers in restaurants, and I gotta go with them on this one. When ordering in a restaurant, understand that the server does not need to know that cheese gives you gas or something binds you. Just say, "I don't want cheese." Don't explain your bodily functions while you're doing it. And try not to be a technosaurus. Now, I am a technosaurus. It took me a long time to catch on to things. The first time I was invited to a meeting, an online meeting, the woman said, "Do you Zoom?" And I thought, yeah, I could still move pretty fast, until I realized, oh, that's not what she meant. So if you still think that Twitter is something that birds do, and if you think that Skyping is what the birds do when they're winging across the sky, then you may be a technosaurus. And just remember, getting older is okay. It's not anything to be depressed about. We make it worse for ourselves when we complain about it. And it was interesting because I had 2 or 3 people say that was part of the problem. And I think that's a hard one to get over unless you just change your mental channel. So go get yourself one of these and get out and blow bubbles. Get some Play-Doh and mold and shape things. Do something fun. You can't get out and do everything that you used to be able to do pre-COVID, but you sure can make what you can do more fun. So I challenge you, and I hope that you will respond and tell me what you've done to try to make your life more joyful. And those of you who said that you were worried about age, well, consider the option. This is Diva Linda signing off. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I don't have to wear this all the time, but it's fun when I do put it on. Take care and keep laughing.